evening and welcome to JoyNews Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. Coming up this evening, pressure is mounting on political parties to conduct campaigns with integrity as the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, sternly warns against the divisive tactics of exploiting ethnicity and religion ahead of the 2024 elections. Also, Ghana Cocoa Board clarifies its intent amid public outcry of alleged exorbitant iPad keyboard purchase. We have details as the PRO of the company reveals investigations will be launched into how the internal memo got into the public space. We will not tolerate attempts to suppress voter registration in Adaklu. Words of MP for Adaklu governs Kwame Agboja as he urges constituents to fully participate in the upcoming voter registration. And later, I will take you to the Senior Correctional Center for the Joy FM Easter Soup Kitchen, where my colleagues spent Easter Monday putting smiles on the faces of minors serving jail terms there. We have business and sports all in the next 60 minutes. Please stay with us. We are grateful you could join us here on JoyNews Prime. Now, Chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, Ms. Kathleen Addy, has cautioned politicians to desist from campaigning based on ethnicity and religion as it may threaten the peace of the country. Speaking at a dialogue organized by her outfit on the Prevention Containing Violence Extremism PVCE program at WA, Ms. Addy emphasized the external threat facing Ghana due to instability in neighboring West African sub-regions, urging political parties to prioritize tolerance and refrain from ethnic and religious campaigns that would undermine national peace. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam report from WA.
The National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, convened a critical dialogue as part of efforts to address potential threats of violent extremism and terrorism during the forthcoming election under the European Union-sponsored project codenamed Prevention Containing Violence Extremism (PVCE) in Ghana. Stakeholders at the dialogue discussed strategies to promote tolerance and to ensure peaceful elections amid rising security concerns. The event, themed Promoting a Culture of Tolerance, a catalyst for peaceful election amid threats of violence extremism, underscored the agency of proactive measures to safeguard national security. Chairperson of the NCCE, Ms. Kathleen Addy, warned that this year's election is peculiar due to the external threats facing the West African sub-region.
This election year is peculiar due to this external threats we face, and today we want to make the point that this election year, more than ever, we need to foster a culture of tolerance so that violent extremists and other malign forces do not take advantage of our vulnerability stemming from intense political campaign.
She cautioned politicians to desist from campaign based on ethnicity and religion as it may threaten the peace of the country.
Ethnicity-based campaigns whereby political actors will say, because I'm from this place and you are also from this place, I deserve your vote. Or I am the one that you should vote for. Or I'm your natural ally because I come from where you come from. The threat that we face, the actors who represent that threat always look for divisions amongst people where they can insert themselves, amplify differences, amplify disagreements, and take advantage of that to disrupt states. So religious intolerance is another avenue for people to promote general intolerance and therefore create deeper divisions and therefore make us more vulnerable as a country.
The dialogue featured a thought-provoking panel discussion which featured persons from varied backgrounds. Daniel Osebonsu from the National Security, Dr. Tobias Shiri from AZD Yobets, and Abu Dukoui Al-Hassan from CAPEX.
when we touch on issues of violent extremism, radicalization, terrorism, sometimes we make a very difficult notion by stating that there is a coming anarchy. There's something coming from somewhere. But I'm sorry, I have to disappoint you. The threat is already within. We are already dealing with the threat. It's with us.
Normally, we talk about media sensationalism, but the one point we normally miss is the point about giving unequal access to actors in the political space. For one day, you are a journalist. Today, if you interview me from party A and you don't interview my colleague from party B, you are engaged in an exclusionary action.
Within this context of discussion, I would say that even if you are intentionally using your political power to intentionally exclude any individual from accessing state resources, you are a terrorist. You are a terrorist. So in discussing terrorism or extremism, we need to ground our discussion within context-related factors.
Participants engage in an open forum, sharing insights and concerns about election security and the role of communities in safeguarding peace.
We must learn, or we must teach people that there are consequences to certain kinds of behaviors. So if you were violent in an election and the police gets hold of you, we must all learn to contribute to allow the law to take its course.
I think that a lot of these problems we are talking about start with the indiscipline that we promote in our communities and everywhere.
As Ghana braces for a pivotal election, the dialogue served as a timely reminder of the need for vigilance and unity in the face of evolving security threats. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Adaklo constituency in the Volta region, Kwame Agboja, is urging his constituents and the general public to engage actively in the continuous voter registration exercise scheduled to commence from May 7th to 27, 2024. Speaking at an Easter Deba held at Adaklo, Waya, organized to raise funds for the construction of a community center, Mr. Agboja emphasized the importance of citizens' participation in the electoral process, underscoring the need for individuals to register without hindrance. He warned that any attempt to impede a process aimed at undermining the December 7th vote will be fiercely resisted. My colleague Ivy Setoji has more in the following report.
Speaking at the Easter Deba held at Adaklo Waya, organized to raise funds for the construction of a community center, Honorable Agboja emphasized the importance of citizen participation in the electoral process. He underscored the need for individuals to register without hindrance, stating that any attempt to impede the process aimed at undermining the December 7th vote would not be tolerated.
I'm encouraging my people to play active role, especially those who have turned 18 or those who didn't write their name during the main registration or the, the limited registration. I also noticed that some individuals have made it a point that whenever we are doing registration in Adaklo, they deliberately take a position to suppress the vote by frustrating people from registering. We are not going to tolerate that. We are going to encourage everybody we are encouraging everybody in Adaklo or who lives in Adaklo, who qualifies and who intend to vote in Adaklo to participate in this civic exercise.
He also urged citizens to maintain peace and refrain from engaging in election-related violence.
This is the only country we have. Election should not be the reason we fight. Let us all work together as one people. And I encourage the security services, the Electoral Commission, and all stakeholders that are part of this election to work with each other to make sure that we have a very peaceful election this year. Whoever wins the election will become the leaders of our country to spur the development of our country. That is all it is. And we don't expect anybody to do anything untoward to bring or question the peace of our country. Let's all work together for peace.
Joining the chorus of calls for unity and development, the District Chief Executive of Adaklo District, Walter Wogbomase Zoo, appealed to all natives of Adaklo to contribute to the district's progress. He implored the chiefs of Adaklu to foster unity for the collective advancement of the district.
For Adaklu to develop, we need peace, especially within the chiefs, because without unity among them, there's no way we can develop. So I am praying and pleading with them that the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which is about love for humanity, should transpire in our lifestyle. We should all unite for the development of Adaklu. Also calling on those individuals who are from Adaklu, we are pleading with them that they should all come home, so that we all come together and develop Adaklu. Because Adaklu is our home. We have only one Adaklu. Without Adaklu, there is no us. We need collaboration to work together for the development of Adaklu.
Additionally, the regents Togbi Amafu, representing Togbi Labrulu Togbeza of Adaklu Waya, encouraged citizens to seize the opportunity presented by the voter registration exercise to ensure their inclusion in the electoral process.
Miamado nobano ngolonko alo no ngolonko hena akodada na ho akodagbalevia migbe miglobe mile akoda mele deke poto meyo mile ekekewa mele deke poto meyo even ne kodagbedo kura miamado la miglebe ma dako nuke boyo jogbe be ameke mejibe ne no ezieji o la amesogbo ke hi mi ba ti la no nya ti e ko ti re nko mo e ata gbenana va be ne totore ke me va ola e ke ma eleti atolia fe nke adregbe ko yede blavevo adrela wa ga vu agbale.
As the nation gears up for the upcoming elections, the collective call from local leaders underscores the importance of citizen participation, unity, and peaceful coexistence in fostering democratic stability and development. Ivy Satoji, JoyNews, Adaklu.
Now, still in the Volta region, the Abafiaga of the Asogli state, Togbe Ajelakle Hosu, the 12th, has called for a paradigm shift in Ghana's political leadership. According to him, the country needs a strong third force to, among other things, empower the youth for rapid economic transformation. Togbe Aji made a call when the founder of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako, paid a courtesy call on him in Ho during his tour of the Volta region. There's more in the following report.
Venturing through over 10 regions, Bediako has engaged with diverse communities, listening to their concerns and aspirations for the nation. The grassroots approach aims to inform the drafting of a comprehensive manifesto tailored to address the pressing needs of the Ghanaian populace. At the palace of Togbi Apede in Ho, Togbi Hosu, who represented Togbi Apede, urged the youth to throw their support behind Nana Kwame Bediako's presidential aspirations, recognizing the potential of Bediako's leadership to bring about positive change.
Nana, we are excited to know of a young man like you coming into the system. Ghana, where we are, what we have reached, we need a third force, and we need the young ones to be the present rulers, not future rulers. It's a pity to see Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana like this. The first in Africa, now the last in Africa. I will implore the youth to give you the support.
During a meeting with the Zongo chiefs in Ho, President of the Volta Regional Council of Zongo Chiefs, Ariki Yushao Bashiru Turawa, offered valuable counsel to Bediako, stressing the importance of surrounding oneself with visionary individuals. He underscored the necessity for visibility, community interaction, and diligent efforts.
We have two major political parties in Ghana that are there already. You coming as the third force, you have to be visible. You have to know you. You have to interact. Your people have to work hard. You can see, if you see, they are youth that are ambitious, but they don't have a help. They don't have a voice. Nobody is talking for them. So we are happy that now they will have a voice. And you should be a positive voice that will drive them, that will drive this nation. And your team, the team have to be a genuine team. They should be behind you, solidly behind you. They shouldn't play the ostrich. They should be committed. They should be a committed people. Before whatever you want to achieve, you achieve it.
Expressing concerns over the Fulani herdsmen menace, Sariku Turawa urged the government to provide adequate resources for Fulani communities, including designated reserves for animal rearing.
We as a community also have the challenge of our people going to school. This Fulani menace, the rearing of those animals are part of our culture. But government have a game reserve for animals that we don't use. But the government don't have a reserve for Fulanis to rear their animals, so that they might not be having problem with landowners and the farmers. It's dear to our heart. It's a way of keeping our wealth. That is our wealth. And it is the duty of government to make sure that these people are protected.
Nana Kwame Bediako's store extended to the Basingo main market, culminating in a town hall meeting at the Whole Technical University, where he engaged with the youth, imparting knowledge, empowering individuals, and actively listening to their perspectives, underscoring his commitment to inclusive governance and youth empowerment.
I'm going to tell you straight away my interest in the Volta region. When I come to Volta region, I've studied this region, and you already have 78 billion estimated natural and mineral resources on tap. Listen, I'm serious. You have that. That is your attributable resources. Okay? It means that once we introduce industrial revolution in this region, everyone in this region should get a job and should start creating millions for yourself. You have a bit of titanium, okay? And then you have the oil base. And then you have a lot of farming potential. Together, you are sitting on over 78 billion, which is more than the entire GDP of this country.
Ivy Satoji, JoyNews.
Now, the Ghana Cocoa Board has jumped to its own defense over a recent viral memo alleging that the company was planning to procure iPad keyboards for its board members at exorbitant prices. A memo dated February 28, 2024, bearing a Cocoa Board stamp, went viral on social media days ago, where a request for the purchase of keyboards for 15 board members at a unit cost price of 4,500 cedis attracted a lot of condemnation from the public. But reacting to the memo in a statement dated today, April 1, 2024, the company clarifies it did nothing wrong as it did not sanction the procurement of the iPad keyboards, and so no such transactions have taken place. We'll bring you the full statement shortly. But first, my colleague James Aveji joins me via Zoom with details of the viral memo. James, give us a background to this story and the actual message the viral memo sought to convey.
Carlos, so that memo actually emerged on the internet, especially social media, this weekend. And in that memo, actually signed by the Deputy Information Systems Manager for Cocoa Board, Enoch Tete Mate, was actually directed to the Director of Finance of Cocoa Board. Now, people actually became very much agitated when some began to add the numbers together to see how much this will cost the taxpayer. So people put out figures like some 67,500, saying that if, keyboard alone for board members of Cocoa Board could cost this, then it means that we are not really feeling the hardship or the economy. And so that was the basis of the agitation for most of the netizens who actually commented on this. And if you look at that statement closely, the key point there is that the Cocoa Board is saying that the procurement is necessary to enhance the productivity of the board members and also guarantee that they are comfortable using their iPads during board meetings. And it went ahead to attach a pro forma invoice to the memo for the perusal of the Director of Finance to see give them clearance for purchase. So that's what the memo
sought to communicate. But we do know that Cocoa Board has been reacting to this particular memo, which has actually gone viral. What have they been saying in that statement?
Exactly, Carlos. So they acknowledged the fact that, yes, that memo actually went out. They said that the memo was actually a proposal requesting management to approve the procurement of the iPad keyboards for members of the board of directors. It continues that, quote, the request to purchase the iPad keyboards was based on the board's adoption of what they called, quote unquote, Coven app, which is part of effort to reduce the use of paper and stationery during board meetings, and while at the same time enhancing productivity and collaboration among members. It says, quote, we wish to emphasize that management has not sanctioned the procurement of the keyboards and consequently to procure or no procurement transactions have taken place. And so that's what Cocoa Board is trying to say, that, they've not given the go-ahead for the keyboards to be procured. And so rest assured that that transaction didn't go forward. And so that's the clarification they've been given in their latest statement dated today.
So it has been established that this is actually a request. And so no transaction has actually taken place.
Has not been granted by the management. And so no transaction has taken place.
We are grateful for your time, James. Thank you so much. All right, but speaking on the pause earlier today on this issue, the general manager in charge of public relations at the Cocoa Board, Fifi Boafo, described the manner in which the internal memo was leaked into the public domain as unfortunate, adding he would welcome an investigation into it.
Proposal has gone through a certain level, but not at the level of executive management for approval, and management has not sanctioned the procurement of it. My information is that this has not received any sanction for the procurement. No, at the moment, management of the board is not considering buying the iPad keyboard as has been put out there. So it is not for consideration. It has not been procured, and that is not on the table at the moment. I believe the IT department felt it was necessary, but it is not everything a department will propose to management that management will give approval for. Management will have to weigh it as to whether or not at the moment of the request it is necessary to proceed to do that. The timing is critical. Value for money is also important, and management has weighed that, and management has not given approval for its procurement. We have not purchased it, and it is not a matter being considered at the moment for procurement. So no such amount of money have been spent, and we are not paying for that as I speak to you. It is unfortunate. There are persons who sometimes feel their allegiance is not to the company they work for, and they do not respect the oath they have signed onto, probably thinking that they have a superior or a different master, if you like, to serve. But that is where you work, and that is where you earn your paycheck. So if you decide to put out this information to bring down the reputation of the organization you work for, of course, there are systems in place to ensure that such persons, when they are caught, the rightful procedure at the office will apply.
Are you going to look into this?
Well, I can only speak to what management has permitted me to speak to it. But obviously, leaking official information is not one that is endorsed at the office. So it is my expectation that the processes at the office would work.
Now, let's do some Easter Rhapsody now, because the Joy FM Easter Soup Kitchen train was at the Senior Correctional Center, formerly known as the Basta Institute, to spend some good time with inmates. The prison facility is home to tens of minors who are sentenced to jail for various crimes. The Joy FM team, led by Programs Manager Edem Knight State, took the Easter Soup Kitchen to the inmates today, spreading some hope and love to inmates. Here are highlights.
Every year on either Easter Sunday or Easter Monday, what we do is that we go out and we share with our brothers and sisters who are underprivileged, just to mean that sometimes they don't have so much. We've gone around a lot of places, and this year we decided that we want to come and spend some time with you.
I catch it and say, "Me then, managing on. I'm pessimistic in then, meaning in date."
How old were you then?
16 years. Yes, sir. But now I could say, "Sam running now. We need a dear me then. Me so my mother."
You started smoking at 16.
So my mother used to wake me up early in the dawn, maybe about around 4 o'clock. Then you start advising me, but I refused to listen. So they send the girl to hospital, and they do some, and the doctor the doctor told them that someone have slept with. So I was just there, and they came to arrest me. So they send me to the police station, and they take me through the court protest.
What did they charge you with in court?
A defilement.
How old was she?
Was 16 years.
The two of you were
16 years, yes, sir. So they took me through the court process, and I was jailed for 2 years.
Nothing goes for nothing. It is the desire of many to grow up, amongst their family. But how things happen along the line before you realize you are somewhere else. But the most important thing is that you need to know who God is, because the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. May they continue to be under your shepherdship and rulership. We shall be careful to say thank you when these ones go out and become great personalities, when they go out to become excellent personalities, when they grow out to become that which you've intended for them. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Now, with a display of indigenous culture and heritage, the chiefs and people of Peki traditional area in the South Dai district of the Volta region celebrated the annual Asafotu Dada festival. The festival was to commemorate the sacrifices of the forebearers who fought in wars to secure the present settlement and celebrate the bravery of the Pekis. JoyNews' Fred Kwame Sari witnessed the festival and filed the following report.
The Asafoetù Dada Festival observed during Easter festivities served as a platform for homecoming, where natives in other parts of Ghana and the diaspora travel home to make merry with their families. On Easter Saturday, warlords of the division of the Peki traditional area lead their warriors to prepare the streets to perform special rites to signify the beginning of the Asafoetù Dada Festival. The young and old participate in the route march to pay homage to their ancestors who represented Peki in wars during the pre-colonial and colonial days. The Pekis were known for their warfare and bravery in defending their settlements. History has it that both men and women joined forces to defend their territories.
Every year, we gather as community and we give this gun salute to our heroes. We do it community by community because we have individuals from the various communities who have gone to fight for Peki to survive. This is very significant because, as the saying goes, that a nation that does not honor its heroes is not worth dying for. We do this so that we can say thank you to our heroes.
After the route march, the paramount chief of Peki traditional area, the Gan Kojode the 12th, leads all divisions together at the Deba grounds to perform final rites of the Asafoetù Dada Festival. He performs a ceremonial gun salute to show gratitude to the ancestors for their sacrifices.
Ghana mi di mi eleyin mi apete mi adometore ke mo gbogbo la bana Peki wa je gomeche afiado gain.
The South Ghana District Chief Executive Godwin Kwame Dajawa advised the traditional authorities to use the festival to raise funds to support development projects to complement the government's efforts.
Peki in particular have witnessed massive development in terms of road construction, in terms of hospital donations and hospital block building and school buildings. So the people have witnessed massive development. Even the portion of Eastern Corridor Road, which passes through the district, has already been completed.
Deba was climaxed with the firing of muskets by the various divisions to exhibit their army, bravery and readiness to defend the land. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Peki.
Now, Muslims observing the holy month of Ramadan have two main meals, the Iftar and the Sahar. In this edition of our Ramadan series, we throw more light on the Iftar meal, which is the fast-breaking evening meal taken by Muslims after the Asha is called to signify the end of a day's fasting. My colleague Anna Sabit has more in the following report.
Basically, Iftar means breaking the fast. It could be either at the end of the day, when the sun sets and Muslims are breaking their fast. And it could also be wrapping up the month of Ramadan.
Iftar traditions are celebrated all around the world with celebrations, togetherness and sumptuous meals. Traditionally, Ramadan fast is broken with dates, water and then followed by a light meal. However, there are a range of food items that are made especially during Ramadan and are known all over the world. This feast of breaking the fast is usually done in a much more celebrated format in advanced Muslim countries. Hardly do you see it observed in such a manner in our neighborhoods here in Ghana. Malam Imran Armiao shares with us the relevance of this meal, particularly when held together as observed today.
When we come together in people to observe the Iftar, it's more or less like a means of socializing, getting into contact with one another, the feeling. That is the difference between an individual Iftar and coming together collectively to observe the Iftar.
In this era of economic recessions where households are going through loss and loss of difficulties, Malam Imran Armiao says organizing community iftars like this attracts lots of rewards.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he do encourage wealthy people or those who are having a backbone to support those people who doesn't have a support, especially in the month of Ramadan. Coupled with the fact that nowadays there is economic hardship, so anyone who has a lot feeding a needy or a person who doesn't have anything on him is more important at this time than feeding the person at any other ordinary time.
To the masses who thronged the residence of the Zongo chief, Alhaji Awaisu Alhassan Musa Sari, where this iftar was observed, this outstanding act of kindness is unprecedented, particularly for people of Techiman and its environs.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. In fact, I don't know where to start. I'm much happier. I have been seeing this outside Ghana, most especially the Arabic countries and other countries. But today, because of Ajia and Dia, Matan Sariki, today I have witnessed this. So we are much grateful. Ajia and Dia, may Allah bless you.
Senche wannan abu ne da yake ba kowa ke iya yi ba. Sa'adina muna gani ko lokacin video muke gani da cikin movies da sauransu, amma yau ya tabbata mun gani a zahiri. Sannan kuma gashi nan yayi kyau, jama'a da gida da waje da matanmu da mazonmu duka mun saduri guda, ya bar mun ga juna muna murna kuma muna far'a.
Ni irin wani abu haka yau ne farkon abin da ni na fara zama kan irin high table haka na samu ka dai ga ba shi ma na nuna ma ba, shi sa ka zo ka gan mu yi wanga taro an zauna kuma an ci masha Allah ba ga jama'a ba, ana nan kowa na munna yana nuna farin ciki.
Like my short words were easy, massive. Mr. Star, since started Ramadan Mubarak, we break fast across the areas. Me who say we break fast by where the Sronkukra, the Mekan say Alhamdulillah.
Others who could not hide their excitements were thankful to the Zongo chief and the family for their generosity and prayed for more of such engagements.
What I want to say is that may Almighty Allah bless Sarki Zongo and his wife. May she never lack. Whatever she removes, may she get more than that. Inshallah, in fact, I'm very happy for that.
Malam Noaim Musa admonishes wealthy Muslims to endeavor towards spending their wealth in the cause of Allah by spending to feed the poor.
And spend your wealth in the cause of Allah and do not put yourself into distraction. So I am pleading them and also giving them the advice that they should spend their wealth in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If they do so, they are going to gain the blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Anas Sabit, Joy News, Techiman.
No, traditionalists and worshippers across the nation are calling for a national holiday to honor their faith. Leaders of this movement, Ngogbefia Kofi Davo and Samuel Davo, urged the government to grant traditional religion the same acknowledgement as Christianity and Islam. The traditionalists have also asked the government to help in some development works at their shrines. My colleague Setoji visited the shrine and has more in the following report.
At the forefront of this campaign is Ngogba Kofi Davo, a prominent figure in the traditionalist community and a leader at the Apotokugboji Shrine in Dagbamate. He emphasized the need for equity and religious recognition. He says the traditional worshippers contribute to the rich tapestry of this nation's beliefs, and it is only just that they are granted the same respect and celebration as other religions.
The shrine is our ancestor God from our ancestors. We believe in him. If you are with this shrine, you shouldn't do any bad thing. You should go by the rules. You shouldn't steal. You shouldn't cheat. You have to speak the truth and love another. No stealing in this community. We believe in it. If they can listen to our plea that they should give us one day as holiday for these are our traditional people, like the Muslims and the Christians, who all enjoy because freedom of association, we think we are being denied from our rights. They should at least give us one day as a holiday.
Supporting this call for inclusivity is Samuel Davo, another influential leader and secretary to the Apato Kuboji Shrine. He stressed the cultural significance of traditional religions, highlighting the deep-rooted history and values.
As has been for Christians and Muslims, it is time government set aside a day as a holiday for traditional religion. We said this last year. We can say with reasons that the neglect of traditional religion by the authorities is the cause of the high level of all sorts of crimes and social vices in our dear country.
Nugogba Kofi Davo, again in an interview with the media at the commissioning of a canteen for the school children in Dagbamate, also asked government to help fix the deplorable road from Dagbamate to Akachi, while also asking for the self-funded vocational school yet to be completed to be equipped with the necessary tools for the promotion of technical and vocational education in the area.
The appeals we are making appeal day in, day out, but no response. Even the common road from Akachi to this place, if you travel on it, you see how we are suffering. So we don't know what to do again. If really government want to help somebody, the one who is helping himself should be helped. You see, some people will sit down applying for government and they will build for them. We are doing it ourselves. Rather to help us and do something, they will not do it. So this one, take it up, because we are putting up some building now for hairdressers and these tailors, so that the needy girls will not be going astray. They can go there and learn their trade free. The shrine will sponsor those people. So by next year, we hope we'll finish it. If the government can give us machines and the dryers to put into the room, that one alone, I think if they hear this, they should help us.
Akwatoku Boji Shrine is the heart of the village. It is where members go for spiritual and physical healing and to receive protection from evil influences. It has a very active program of Sunday worship, daily pledges and vows.
You're still watching Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return with business. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Now in business, the National Petroleum Authority has refuted claims that the new floor for pricing guidelines of petroleum products in Ghana is not meant to replace the deregulation formula, rather to ensure transparency. Speaking in an interview with Joy Business, the head of pricing at NPA, Abbas Tasunti, believes this will protect consumers while ensuring the market remains free from low quality or smuggled petroleum products.
There are some perceptions as this does not allow the competition to go. There's a formula used to set petroleum product prices. Since we started price regulation, no oil marketing company actually sets a price without a margin. So they still use this formula that we provide, and then they add their margins to it. So the floor price, as I've said, which is being set, this is to ensure that even though we are protecting consumers and deregulation has brought about the competition we need in terms of using the formula and companies having different margins, because realistically, what happens today is that the differences you see in prices mainly as a result of the variations in margins that the company set. So companies have up to, from the margin of 0 up to whatever margin which is realistic for them to set their prices. But there are times when there have been concerns that sometimes when products come in through illegal means, the only way for you to sell these products are to sell them at very unrealistic prices. And sometimes these suspicions come in and they affect the industry players. Remember that this industry is a very critical one. And as long as the industry supports the economy, we have to protect it. The regulator, through our act, we are mandated to protect the petroleum service provider as well as the consumer. So our policies have brought about competition, but we also have to ensure that we don't close our eyes on some of the unhealthy competition in the industry, which can kill the business. Remember that if the oil marketing companies or the importers collapse, it sometimes has a ripple effect, or usually it has a ripple effect on the banking sector and several other issues. So we have to make sure that in as much as we are allowing competition, we also don't allow certain illegalities or certain unhealthy competition to kill the industry, which ends up coming to affect our ability to have petroleum products on the market. So you realize that the floor price, which when we start announcing them, we are going to announce them and they are going to be public. So it's not going to be a secret floor price, because we are still using the same pricing formula which we communicate. All this to ensure that there's transparency in the market. So this is what will be allowed. Will be announced, and consumers will know what the floor price is. So you realize that this is not a price that is really below what any company would have really said. But this is to ensure that those who sometimes are able to bring in products through illicit means are not able to have their way.
Now, in case of an emergency, can all your assets take care of all your liabilities in the short term? Knowing your current ratio is one way to answer this question. Dr. Maxwell Ampon explains further on today's Entrepreneur in You.
Current ratio means you are in a strong position to grow. Hello, happy Easter. For our Easter episode, today we discuss your current ratio. Your current ratio is a
business. We'll return with sports. Please stay. Now in sports, Ghana Premier League side Dreams Football Club recorded a significant win in Bamako in the first leg of the CAF Confederation Cup quarterfinals game against Stade Malien. The game, which was played on Sunday, saw Karim Zito's men record a 2-1 win heading into the return fixture. A brace from John Entry was enough for the Ghanaian side, who now need to avoid defeat in the next fixture at the Accra Sports Stadium. That's all we have for sport, and that's all we have for the bulletin. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Keloni. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening.